Category strategy is a structured approach used to align sourcing activities with organizational objectives while optimizing supply plans across the supply network. As organizations expand globally and manage increasingly complex supplier relationships, sourcing decisions must move beyond simple price comparisons and focus on long-term value creation. A category strategy groups similar materials, services, or suppliers into meaningful classifications that can be managed according to their strategic importance and supply market characteristics. This approach enables supply chain professionals to allocate resources effectively, prioritize critical sourcing activities, and establish appropriate supplier relationships. By integrating sourcing strategies with corporate objectives, organizations can improve service levels, reduce risks, enhance collaboration, and achieve sustainable competitive advantage. The development of an effective category strategy begins with aligning and validating supply plans. Supply plans are designed based on sourcing requirements, make versus buy decisions, total cost of ownership analyses, risk assessments, and desired supplier relationship structures. Strategic sourcing decisions must support broader corporate goals related to customer service, quality, capacity, sustainability, and profitability. Category strategies provide additional detail by identifying how different categories of spend should be managed and prioritized. Supply planning also requires balancing centralized control with local sourcing flexibility, evaluating contingency plans for supply disruptions, and ensuring future scalability. Through continuous validation and refinement, organizations create sourcing strategies that remain responsive to changing market conditions and evolving business requirements. An important component of category strategy is determining supply categories based on strategic importance, supply complexity, and availability. Categories are created by classifying purchasing spend into groups that share similar characteristics, risks, or sourcing requirements. This classification enables organizations to tailor sourcing approaches according to the unique needs of each category rather than applying a uniform procurement strategy across all purchases. Category management also supports more effective supplier segmentation, contract management, and performance monitoring. By understanding the importance and complexity of each category, supply chain managers can allocate sourcing attention where it generates the greatest value. This targeted approach improves decision quality and ensures resources are focused on strategically significant procurement activities. Portfolio analysis is a key tool used to evaluate sourcing categories and determine appropriate management strategies. This analysis assesses categories according to two primary dimensions: strategic importance and supply chain difficulty. Categories are then grouped into four classifications: commodity, bottleneck, leverage, and core competency materials. Commodity items have low strategic importance and low supply risk, requiring efficient transactional purchasing. Bottleneck items have low strategic importance but high supply difficulty, making availability and continuity critical concerns. Leverage items possess high strategic importance but relatively low sourcing difficulty, allowing organizations to use purchasing power strategically. Core competency materials are both strategically important and difficult to source, requiring extensive management attention and long-term collaboration. Each portfolio category requires a distinct sourcing strategy. Commodity materials are generally managed through efficient procurement processes that emphasize cost control, automation, and supplier rationalization. Bottleneck materials require strategies focused on ensuring availability, reducing supply risks, and developing alternative sources where possible. Leverage materials benefit from preferred supplier arrangements, collaborative improvement initiatives, and strategic negotiations designed to optimize cost, quality, and service performance. Core competency materials demand the highest level of supplier integration and partnership because they directly affect competitive advantage and organizational success. These suppliers often participate in product development, innovation activities, and long-term planning efforts. Effective category management ensures that sourcing resources are allocated according to the strategic significance of each category. A segmented sourcing strategy extends portfolio analysis by evaluating both how much the organization needs a supplier and how much the supplier needs the organization. This dual perspective analysis helps determine the most appropriate supplier relationship model. Factors influencing supplier importance include alignment with a supplier's business strategy, responsiveness to changing requirements, innovation capabilities, and the percentage of the supplier's revenue represented by the customer relationship. By combining assessments of supplier dependence and customer attractiveness, organizations gain a more complete understanding of relationship dynamics. This analysis supports informed decisions regarding supplier segmentation and enables sourcing professionals to develop mutually beneficial relationships that support long-term strategic objectives. Based on segmentation results, suppliers are typically classified into transactional, preferred, strategic, or owned relationships. Transactional relationships focus primarily on efficiency, standardization, and competitive pricing with minimal collaboration. Preferred supplier relationships involve ongoing cooperation, performance improvement initiatives, and moderate levels of integration. Strategic relationships are characterized by long-term collaboration, joint planning, innovation sharing, and significant mutual dependence. Owned relationships represent the highest level of integration, often involving acquisitions, joint ventures, or direct ownership arrangements. Each relationship type serves a different purpose within the supply chain. Selecting the appropriate relationship model helps organizations balance cost, risk, flexibility, innovation, and service objectives while maximizing supplier contribution to business success. Supply base analysis and spend analysis are essential tools for validating sourcing strategies and securing organizational support for supply plans. Spend analysis examines procurement expenditures to identify which suppliers receive the largest share of organizational spending and which categories represent the highest purchasing volumes. This information helps organizations identify opportunities for supplier consolidation, negotiation leverage, and improved resource allocation. Supply base analysis evaluates the number, capability, and performance of suppliers within each category to determine whether the supplier network is appropriately sized and structured. Together, these analyses provide evidence-based justification for sourcing decisions, support continuous improvement efforts, strengthen governance, and ensure that category strategies contribute effectively to organizational performance and supply chain resilience.